Last night, the Leafs were hoping to put a stranglehold on the Florida Panthers. They were hoping to make it 3-0 against last year's Stanley Cup champions. But let me tell you something. Even with Ike Myers in the building and Jeremy Yager, they ran into a little bit of trouble last night. Now, this game review is brought to you by Breaks TV. Breaks TV is an excellent spot to buy singular hockey cards. It's an excellent spot to get involved in group breaks. And my favorite part of all, if you've got that one card that's got a special place in your heart like this one right here, and you want to put it on display, you gotta get yourself one of these frames. You can find all the links for Breaks TV in the description of today's video, but here we go. Leafs versus the Reds. The puck is dropped. And kind of like we seen in Game 1, the Toronto Maple Leafs are about to get off to a tremendous start. Noise gets on the board. John Tavares gets on the board. Look, I don't know what it is, but Bob just can't seem to stop a beach ball all of a sudden. He's got holes on him like a Kardashian. And the Leafs are just happy to exploit it. They're as happy as pigs and shit out there. They get an early 2-goal lead, and they just sucked all the energy out of the building. But credit to the Panthers because they didn't just roll over and die. You know what I mean? And eventually, after some hard work in the offensive zone, Barkov and Riley, check it out, they're going to sneak in behind everybody on a 2-on-0 and beat Joseph Wall to make it a 2-1 game. It's a big one. It's Morgan Riley's first goal as a Florida Panther, and it gives the Panthers that little spark that they've been looking for. And for the remainder of the first period, I felt like they were starting to take over a little bit. They were more physical. They hit a post. However, when the first period comes to an end, it's still a 2-1 game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But now we're going to move on to the second period, where the Cats come out of the gate looking to tie this thing up. However, when AJ Greer picks up a 2-minute minor for interference, it's going to be Johnny T on the power play, chipping in his second goal of the game. It was perfectly executed. I mean, there's not really a whole lot Bob Dashian could do about that one. Now the Maple Leafs, they got a 2-goal lead again, but it was also at this point where the Florida Panthers really started to turn things around a little bit. You see, just over a minute later, they're going to get one back. They're going to get a greasy one. It's Sam Reinhart poking at a puck that's not really covered. The ref says we got a good goal. Now they're back within one. And on the very next shift, Sam Bennett, who continues to be an absolute beast during this series, he makes a perfect pass over to Carter Verhaeghe. And now all of a sudden, not only do we have a tie game, but the Leafs get caught sleeping a little bit. Eventually, Aldong Nosak is going to put one past Joseph Wall to make it a 4-3 game. I guess they're saying Gadjevich kind of got a piece of this one. But the second period comes to an end, and the Leafs, they were indeed starting to shit their pants a little bit. You could see it. You could see it in their eyes, and you could even smell it from the television. You see, it wasn't just the goals. There was a lot of pucks getting past Joseph Wall. The Leafs goaltender, he was starting to look a little shaky. And when the third period begins, this trend continues. He almost gives up a goal right away, but he does redeem himself. And after a pretty evenly played physical third period from two of these teams, Morgan Riley eventually ties it all up at 4 and forces in overtime. What a big moment in the series. You know as well as I do, if the Leafs go up 3-0, it ain't looking too good for the Florida Panthers. I mean, it's do or die at this point. And with just under 5 minutes left to go in overtime, it's the head rat himself, Splinter, who fires a shot. And you're not going to believe it, but this one also catches a piece of Morgan Riley before finding its way past Joseph Wall. That's Riley's second goal as a Florida Panther. He's the one that really kicked things off for the Panthers in the first period. And now he wins this game in overtime. That's some Jeremy Yager shit if I ever seen it. So now it's a 2-1 series. Game 4 is going to be absolutely huge. But you know what? As much as I despise these little assholes, the Toronto Maple Leafs, even I gotta admit, okay, it's not like the Panthers, they ran away with this thing last night. In fact, they barely scraped out a win. They got a lucky bounce in overtime off of Morgan Riley, who's really pulling off a bit of a heel turn or something. Morgan Riley this series has kind of been like Scott Hall when he left the WWF and went to WCW. That's pretty much him in a nutshell right now. But anyway, I'm going to leave Riley alone. This has been a really good series. There's lots of hockey left. Leafs fans, let me know how you feel down in the comments section. You just got dang no sack by the Florida Panthers? Please don't forget to slap that like button around before you leave here, and hey, I'll see you next time.